Welcome to Healthy Frontiers. My name is Dr. Bizzoni, and this show is dedicated to the education of our viewers. We have a special guest tonight, Dr. Randi Ross. She's going to be talking about how to slow down the aging process. Dr. Ross has come from southern New Jersey, and we just want to welcome her to the show. And welcome, Dr. Ross.
Thank you, Dr. Bizzoni. Thank you for having me here.
It's my pleasure. Dr. Ross, we're going to talk about how to slow the aging process. Okay, and one of the ways is to kill some of these free radicals. And I don't want to get too technical. We're going to talk about antioxidants. We're going to talk about free radicals. Let's start with the antioxidant. What exactly is that, and what is it for?
Antioxidants is something that you want to get into your body because what they're actually going to do is they're going to prevent the damage that free radicals will actually create, which is part of the aging process and the disease process.
Right. Okay. So you're saying that you want to take these antioxidants in some form, right, to kill free radicals, which are really the bad cells. Right? We don't want these bad cells in our system.
Exactly.
We want to rid them or lessen the amount.
Exactly. Our bodies are made up of hundreds of thousands of atoms, and these atoms are encircled with electrons. And sometimes what happens, actually frequently what happens, is that an electron will break away. When that happens, this atom is now unstable, and it's going to do whatever it can to get stable. And literally in a microsecond, it's going to attach itself to something to stabilize it. If there's nothing available, it's going to attach itself to healthy tissue, which is going to start damage. And sometimes it will even attach itself to DNA, which unfortunately is how cancer starts. So if you have antioxidants constantly circulating in your body, they are there to allow themselves to be attached to these atoms so that they're now stable, that they're not floating around looking for healthy tissue to attach themselves to.
Oh, that's great. Okay. And are all antioxidants the same? Are there different types?
There's different types of antioxidants. The example that we just gave are antioxidants which help stabilize free radicals once they're already created in your body. But there are also antioxidants that will hopefully stop or slow the free radicals from even forming so much in your body. So there are different types that are created, not all created equal, so to speak.
Right, okay. And how do you know the difference between antioxidants?
Well, today it's kind of like a buzzword. Everyone hears antioxidants. Every commercial you see, it's, they're advertising and there's some form of antioxidant in every product. Sure. But what you really want is quality and consistent quality. And just to say something has an antioxidant doesn't mean it's going to even really benefit you. You need certain levels in your body, like anything else, for it to really be effective. So one of the things that the consumers can look for is quite a few years ago, there was a doctor named Richard Cutler, who was the head of the National Institute of Anti-Aging, and he's also an antioxidant scientist. Yes. So he formulated this system so that we would have a way to measure, what are these products actually doing? What levels of antioxidants they have? And he created a scientific measurement formula called an ORAC value. So one of the things that's taken place is a commercial company called Brunswick Laboratories has actually taken this to a whole nother level. Right. And they've standardized this system, and they're really the global standard in the world. Everyone looks to Brunswick Laboratories to give them this number as to what the ORAC value is. U.S. Department of Agriculture uses them to test food products as well. So again, they're the standard in the industry. Right. They've actually come out with a seal that they will give to certain products that they feel have a consistent high level of quality antioxidants. So one of the things that consumers can look for is they can look for this Brunswick seal, an ORAC seal, that will be on certain products that have really that high standard that you're looking for. You're putting something of quality into your body.
And ORAC is spelled and...
Well, it's an acronym. It's ORAC, and ORAC stands for Oxygen Radical Absorption Capacity. And it just really means the ability of this product that you're putting in your body to allow itself to absorb these free radicals so that they're not causing the damage that we're trying to prevent them from creating.
Great. And, so one of the products, one of these antioxidants is called Viento.
Viviente, and Viviente is a very, very unique product. Actually, it's the first product that Brunswick Laboratories ever gave a seal to. So that's quite an honor in and of itself. So you know that based on that, and Brunswick Labs is a third-party independent validator, that you have a quality product.
Right. So
again, going back to that, we want to have these antioxidants in our body, because what will happen is if the free radicals attach to tissue, it causes damage. Now, the body's first line of defense to damage, as you and I know, is it will cause inflammation, because it's trying to ward off that damage, not to let it go any further. So once the tissue is damaged and inflammation starts, very often this becomes a chronic problem. And we know today that many disease processes begin with chronic inflammation. You could see there probably one of the most reputable publications that exists, Time Magazine, a few years back in February 2004, did a whole spread on this. That's 6 pages long. You know, the secret killer, they call it the fires within. They know that inflammation, this is all from the scientific community, the medical community, is the root of what most of us unfortunately succumb to at some point in our lives, which is cancer, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, rheumatoid arthritis, that they know that it's not just, you know, in heart disease, plaque laying in the walls.
Right.
It's really inflammation in all these organ systems that starts this process.
Right.
So we know if we can minimize inflammation, and we know also high levels of antioxidants will act as anti-inflammatories. Sure. If you have this constantly circulating in your body, you can hopefully prevent or minimize a lot of these disease processes from taking place.
Right.
And like I mentioned just real briefly earlier, if the free radical attaches to DNA, that's the beginning of cancer.
Right.
So how many cancers could be, you know, prevented or maybe minimized or, you know, lessened to whatever degree, you know, we don't understand it totally yet, by simply having these antioxidants, you know, circulating in our bodies at all time. And that's one of the keys. You know, it's not something you just take it once and it's going to last. You know, you have to be adding it to your body in various ways throughout the day.
Okay.
So, Viviente is a very, very unique product. As we stated, obviously have a very high antioxidant level because they have the ORAC seal. And what's really unique about this is where it comes from. It comes from a paradise in the world, a little region in the Andes Mountains called Vilcabamba, Ecuador. And it's a total unspoiled, lush, green, you know, rainforest. It's not been touched by time or anything. And what's really unique and really cool about this area is 1 out of every 64 people live into their hundreds. I mean, out of here, it's like 1 out of every 64,000 or something like that. Sure. And what's also very unique is, even though they're in their hundreds, their mind and their bodies are like they're decades earlier. You know, here, if you live into your hundreds, you're probably in a nursing home and don't have a great quality of life. They're actually still thriving. They're productive. Obviously, a lot of what they do is, you know, they're field workers and farmers. They're still out there working in the fields into their hundreds. So this has actually been studied. National Geographic has been down there many times. This probably goes back about 50 years, studying the 2 or 3 places in the world where people have this longevity and this health.
Okay.
And what they found when they studied the Vilcabambans, they did hair analysis on them. They consistently found 13 essential minerals. Okay. So they knew that there was something there that
those minerals are in these people's hair that aren't in the United States.
Exactly.
Okay.
And only 13. You know, we all think we need, you know, 700 of everything.
Yes.
So when they looked around and said, well, you know, what is it in their area that they have access to that the rest of the world doesn't? And the first thing they looked at was their water source. They have a very unique water source. It actually comes down from the Andes Mountains. And as it trickles down, it collects in these rock beds. And the rock beds have small little perforations in them that the water seeps through. And as it seeps through there, it acts as a sediment remover. So it removes any heavy metals that exist in the water. We never have access to water without heavy metals in it, whether it's bottled water or even filtered or anything else. Still has a level of mercury, arsenic, lead, and all these things that obviously, if we had a choice, we don't want them in our body.
Of course.
So when they looked at the water, it's what they call clean. It's not dirty. And it also has these same 13 essential minerals that the people have in their bodies, and that's it. So they know that there's this strong connection between their water source and their longevity and their health and wellness. So, some people might say, well, they live in Vilcabamba. If I lived in, in a region like that and I didn't have stress and buses and my kids running around and coming out, I would be healthy
Live
too.
to 100 also.
Yeah, exactly. But what they found is, as soon as anywhere in that region they don't have access to that water source, outside the valley they have access to the water as it goes down the river, they go back to having diseases that the Vilcabambans don't have: cancer, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's. They just don't have these diseases. So as soon as you leave that valley and they don't have access to the water at that source, they go back to having all of these other, chronic conditions that most of us are familiar with.
Sure.
So they know that that's the strongest key, is the water.
Right.
Now, the other thing is, as you would expect, because of where they are, a very large portion of their diet is fruit.
Right.
Their fruit is very, very unique because it's sun fruit, because it's so close to the equator. The sun's out 12 hours a day. The skin is about 3 times the thickness of the skin of fruit that you and I would eat. Protects the fruit, keeps in all the nutrients. So what's interesting is that's where all the nutrition is in the skin and the thickness of the skin. You and I pick up an orange, we peel off the skin, and we throw it out, and we spit out the seeds. That's where all the nutrition is. The liquid portion of fruit really isn't nutrient-rich. So Viviente went on this incredible journey. They spent 16 years to develop this product. Craig Keelan, who's the founder of the company, was very, very committed to creating one product that would impact the entire body. So he has actually purchased the rights to the water in Vilcabamba, and he imports that along with 11 fruits and 2 roots that are indigenous to that region. And what they do is they cold press it. And for people that don't necessarily understand that, a cold press really means they're just squashing it. Okay? So we're not pasteurizing it. We're not heating it in any way. And that's really important because you're keeping all the enzymes intact. And
the heat will kill them.
We can talk about why that's important in a few minutes. So they take this very unique mineral-rich water along with these 11 fruits and 2 roots, and they combine them to create this product called Viviente, which actually means alive with youth. Okay? It started out to be an anti-aging product and has developed into much more than that. What's very unique about this for consumers to be aware of with any kind of product is they go through painstaking, very expensive lengths to ensure the quality of the product. Most food products are not really held to very high government standards, unfortunately, and I don't think a lot of people are aware of that. What they do with their raw materials, first the fruits, go to a company called Carrington Labs, where they have to qualify to even be part of the product. That's the first step. The second step is once they qualify and they're cold pressed, they're sent to Carrington Labs, and this is really important because this is an FDA-approved, what they call an ISO 9001, which is a pharmaceutical grade processing plant. Almost unheard of in the food industry. And it's combined to give you this product. So with these 2 plans in place, especially Carrington Labs, that you're getting this consistency and that there's no contamination. If it's something that you're putting into your body or your children are putting into your body isn't produced in this manner, you don't necessarily know what kind of contamination is in there and what products that you might not want to be taking exist in there. So that was the formulation of the product. The product is very unique. Just as an example, as we say, one product to impact the entire body. There is grape for digestion, gentian root for your circulation, bilberry for vision, elderberry for respiration, Noni for mobility. A lot of people know Noni, but what they don't understand is Noni by itself really doesn't do a lot. It's kind of a catalyst for other products, makes other products work better in your body.
The synergism of this whole thing is what's so important.
Exactly. Skullcap, which Chinese skullcap goes back hundreds and hundreds of years that they have used for pretty much almost everything,
Yeah.
you know, in,
Sure.
in Chinese medicine. And you can see the list, pomegranate fruit for cholesterol and cardiovascular health. So there's something in this product to really impact your entire body.
There's no downside at all.
No, and so what it is a lot of products, you know, give you something of this, something of that, which is
Right.
why most people wind up taking a lot of things to get the
Right.
nutritional effect they're looking for. It's really like bits and pieces of nutrition, where this is really giving you everything that you need in one place, which is really unique,
Right.
and great for the consumer, because you're not trying to figure out what is it that you need to take.
Right. Now, can I just ask, are you going to replace your daily vitamin with this product? Can you do that? Or is this in addition to, or as I would recommend to my patients, always eat well, and this is going to balance out what you might not be getting? Is that the correct concept?
Well, you know, a lot of people, you have to look at what kind of supplementation that you're taking. You know, are you actually utilizing it? Are you ingesting it?
Right.
Or is it just a habit in your life to take these products?
Right.
You can generally get enough nutrition with this to do away with a majority of things that you might be taking. Because the whole idea is, this is whole food.
Right.
Whole food trumps all.
Yes.
You know, we've become a society of processed, supplement, extracted, but our bodies are designed to ingest food, process food,
Right.
and utilize food. So all of these other things we take, and they're not that they're bad, you know, we need them, but we don't even really know very often how much are we actually utilizing and absorbing. You know, it's hard today very often to get your nutrition from even your fruits and vegetables that we have access to, because our soils are overprocessed, and they may not be as mineral rich or nutrient rich as we need them to
Sure.
be. So even when you're putting good things in your body, are you really getting the quality that your body needs? So because where this comes from, and the raw materials of where this comes from, you know, they don't have the same things to be concerned about that might exist where, you know, most of our products are coming from. So that's really an individual choice, back to your question.
Right.
You know, if someone wants to try and stop taking some of the additional supplements they're taking, they could probably do away with the majority of them. Because again, with a whole food product, and now we can mention why those enzymes intact are so important. Enzymes, your body needs enzymes to absorb.
Right.
So when the enzymes are fully intact in a true raw whole food product, with this, because it's a liquid form too, as soon as it hits your palate, you're beginning to absorb it. It has a 97% absorption rate.
That's terrific.
So, you know, a lot of other pills and tablets and things like that, you know, you have to look at the source.
Right.
Where are they really coming from?
Yep.
And even if they say whole food, you know, how far back are you going before it was actually whole food?
Sure.
You know, that's so
Yes.
important, to really look at what you're putting in your body today.
Can you give this to your children as well? I mean, is there an age?
No, because it's whole food, you don't have concerns like certain other products.
Right.
I have a beautiful 6.5-year-old daughter who takes it twice a day.
Right.
I actually give it to my dog. I love my dog more than maybe most people love their pets, but it works for him.
Okay.
And he's very healthy.
Yep.
So, yeah, from, you know, the littlest of infants to my parents that are in their 80s take this product. Pregnant women can take it. Nursing women can take it. You don't have concerns about interactions with medications.
That was another question
Because
I had
it's
for you.
food. It's simply whole food. You
Right.
know, other than if there was, for some reason, you weren't allowed to eat some of these products, and even then, it may or may not be a concern. That's something you need to discuss with your doctor, because the percentage of each item that exists in there might not even impact you.
Sure. This terrific product. Looks like a bottle of wine to me.
Yeah, well,
But the packaging looks terrific.
that's good marketing.
Yeah, it sure is. And so I, from what you've said, this looks like a terrific product. There are no downside to taking it. You can give it to anyone in your family. You can maybe replace some of the supplements you're taking. Always eat great foods as best you can, and even we know we're not getting the best mineral and vitamins from them. So this is a great supplement to what we are eating, even if we think we have a good diet.
Absolutely. And, you know, there's not one fix for everything. This is, you know, most of us have a very quick-paced life.
Yep.
We might not have time to be very committed to always doing what we know is best for us. So this is a very easy way for you to get your nutrition for the day, and go about your day and still try and do the best you can. If you're creating free radicals in your body, you have to have those antioxidants. And people that are healthy, even people that are very healthy and exercise, creates free radicals. It's just part of how the body functions, so you want those antioxidants there. For people that smoke, unfortunately, I just read something that said every cigarette creates a quadrillion free radicals.
Wow.
I don't know necessarily what that number means, but I guess we can agree it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So, whatever your position in wellness is, this is something that can only benefit you, can only benefit your family, and it's easy and it's simple. It tastes really good. You can drink it cold, you can drink it warm, you can put it in water, you could put it in juice. The whole idea is you just want to get it into your body.
Have there been any studies with professional athletes? I know there are many professionals who are taking it. Have there been studies to show that it improves their performance?
There is actually our biggest spokesperson is Terry Bradshaw.
Oh, is that right?
Unsolicited. He actually was given some viviente a few years back from his nutritionist, and I'm sure you know from treating a lot of athletes as they get older, they are ridden with aches and pains, sometimes quite severe, and that evidently was what he was experiencing. And after about 3 months, he claims that the majority of the pain that he felt, especially in the morning when you're very stiff and achy, has gone away, and he's gone on to be, a town crier for this. But we know, for athletes, it's only going to enhance their performance. If you're someone that works out, or you have, if you're a bike rider, whatever you're going to do before your activity, if you put antioxidants in your body before you train, well, as you're training and those free radicals are being created, they're not going to cause that inflammation. That's what that soreness is that athletes experience, whether they're professional or amateur. So putting good antioxidants in your body before you work out and after, so it's always available, is really going to enhance your performance, decrease any swelling that's being caused, and probably minimize some injuries that you'll probably be experiencing as well.
So we want to just tell our audience that we're not prescribing this for any kind of disease process per se, like a fibromyalgia or an inflammatory process, but we are recommending that you could keep your body as healthy as you can to fight off any of these other free radicals, and the inflammation will be less in most cases, thereby allaying some of those conditions.
Exactly. Of course, it's not a prescription where you can make medical claims. It's not what we're trying to do. It's a whole food, very high quality source with components that can't be found anywhere else, that only exist in this region of the world where it comes from. But we do know many people have come back. It's 4 years that it's been made available to the public with various kinds of conditions that have had, really great experiences. Again, if you give the body what it needs, the body will do amazing things and correct and balance itself.
And there have been double-blind studies done?
Yeah, there's been double-blind studies at a Miami Research Institute with arthritis and high blood pressure, and even some work with diabetes that has some very promising studies coming behind it.
Great. Wow. Doc, I think that was a terrific presentation. Viviente, right?
Viviente.
There you go. My Italian, I didn't even say it right. Viviente. Okay, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure being here.
It was my pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay.